The Limehouse Golem is directed by Juan Carlos Medina and stars Bill Nighy, Olivia Cooke, Douglas Booth, and Eddie Marsan. The Limehouse Golem is based on the novel of the same name, which basically takes the concept of this mysterious, feared killer who was before Jack the Ripper. And before Jack the Ripper, there was the Limehouse Golem, who was a very similar murderer who had the police force after him for ages, and they just had him chasing their tails. And the fact that the book was finally adapted into a film is something I think is very timely, and the book is fantastic, and so is this film. Bill Nighy is fantastic in this movie. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of Bill Nighy. I think he's an incredible actor. And his character in this is very well written because he kind of goes through this semi-character arc which brings him to have this certain emotional connection to one of the characters. I won't spoil who it is, but he has a certain connection to one of the characters, and by the end of the movie you really buy this connection, and it's actually a really well written story and a greatly written character arc for his character. Olivia Cooke plays a great and quintessential role in this movie. She is a great actress. I mean, she really had a lot behind her eyes, and that was something that really surprised me. I thought she was going to be kind of generic in this movie, but that was me completely wrong to perceive that, because she was very good in it, and by the end, she is probably the most impressive actress or actor in the movie, and she plays such a good role, and you get to see a lot of backstory to her character. She's very well developed, and it comes off very well in the end. Douglas Booth is actually quite mesmerising in his role, and when I was watching this movie, I looked at Douglas Booth and his character and I saw the Joker. I mean, if they're looking for somebody else other than Leonardo DiCaprio to cast in this, standalone Joker movie, I'd maybe go for this guy, because he is really good. He has a lot of emotion, and he's actually a really cool character, and you really do kind of gravitate towards him, and he has a really good screen presence. Really impressed with Douglas Booth in this film. The film has a great vibe too. Like I said at the start, this is set in Victorian London, kind of, before the Jack the Ripper era, but still within that same kind of time frame. And it really puts you in this world, it really immerses you in this universe, and that kind of gritty, smoggy nature kind of just infects you while you watch the movie, and it really drags you into this world. It's very immersive, very well done. The film also very appropriately uses horror. Now, this film isn't a full-fledged horror film, but it definitely has elements of horror in it, and it's used very smartly to the point where you buy it and it actually helps you, because this is quite a scary concept. Jack the Ripper was very scary, this is also a very scary concept, and the way they use horror in this film is actually a big emphasis to make you buy how terrifying this time would have been for Londoners. The film also has a fantastic ending. I won't spoil the ending, obviously, but just know the movie builds up to this conclusion, kind of like building up to this big crescendo, and at the end it definitely follows through. The movie has such a great ending. I was thinking about it the entire way home when watching the movie. It was just such a good way to end it, and I was really impressed by how they were able to follow through. The ending didn't disappoint me. It reminded me a lot of horror novels I used to read as a kid, which it's just very satisfying. On the whole, I'd say The Limehouse Golem was a really nice surprise. I mean, I wasn't really planning on watching this movie, but I just thought, hey, why not? Let's go watch it, give it a go, give it a whirl, and it was actually a really nice movie. It was a really fun movie. I don't know if fun's the right word to use there, but it's definitely a good movie. I'd say it's a great movie, actually, and it keeps you thinking when you're watching it, keeps you intrigued, keeps you on your toes, and I think that is the main draw for this movie, and I would definitely recommend it. I give The Limehouse Golem a B.